Hello again, new viewers. I didn't like my voice inside a cold filming, so I just cut the footage, but I didn't want to waste the poster wall, so I left this in. I haven't had the chance to film a proper video lately, so today will just be a collection of minisodes that I was going to do a summer OVA concept for 6 months ago, and I'll unbox this at the end of the video since it might not appeal to everyone who's used to my usual content. Perhaps a glimpse of my own future. My Uber driver, despite being a gruff, middle-aged man, had a My Melody basket in his car, which is not very aesthetic, but is very real. Even though there's modern cat cafes with better reviews, I will always choose the endearingly ugly establishment just because A, it's usually much more quiet, and B, the atmosphere feels like you're in 2012, but honestly, choosing poorly reviewed places to be quirky and different does not always pay off because there were no other customers and barely any cats. I don't think they used that kitchen, but I always wonder if places like these are violating any health codes by letting the cats so close to the fridge and sink. Now, was this place sufficiently ugly for me to find it nostalgic? A little. I always get lucky and get seated next to little sleeping white cats, but since I've never had any pets, I'm still too afraid to pick one up even at my big age. I know cat cafe kitties are really docile, but I always think about articles where people die of sepsis from cat bites and scratches containing rare brain-eating bacteria or whatever. But, you know, that's just because it's exhausting to live like me since I live every day in constant paranoia. Anyhow, people say don't judge a book by its cover, but I think a cover conveys intent and care. And while this cover is cute, I can already tell that the food will not taste good. I don't even like milkshakes or rice much, but I ordered them anyways because I was expecting cute little cat art, and I ended up spilling the milkshake on the floor because I couldn't take myself seriously and romanticizing it. I was too self-conscious to tell the waiter, so I just desperately mopped it up myself while my friends watched and did nothing. To be honest, I still remember I wanted the curry more, but I had to have variety, so I took one for the team. I'm one of those people who will always be polite even when I'm gritting my teeth internally, and truthfully, it has not worked out for me. I've only seen episode 1 of Oshinoko where the mascot girl gets K-worded, so I don't really know the plot, but the pose felt very magnetic to replicate. Even though my outfit was really boring that day, I couldn't resist going into a Cinnamoroll themed photo booth. No one else wanted to go inside with me, so I felt a bit lame, but I persevered. It was my first time in one alone, so my poses were really stiff, and the hideous background and terrible lighting didn't help. They didn't even have the decency to put a filter on me to look like an alien Zepito. To calm my nerves, I went to try shaved ice for the first time, but one of my friends moved the table and I instinctively tried to catch it, which obviously did not go well. It was a very rough day for me. I always hated karaoke places when I was younger since they look the way secondhand smoke smells, but I've been trying to find the name of the particular aesthetic I'm thinking of that's like a dark and messy Fruitiger Arrow. I tried making up some names, but the closest is probably Fruitiger Aurora. Not visually, but like vibe-wise. No one knows any of the obscure The Brilliant Green songs I listen to cry harder when I'm in a bad mood, and I was too self-conscious to do it solo, so I just sat and tried my best to be mysterious, even though that doesn't work if everyone in there knows you. The food, of course, was not good either, as you can imagine. I tried to cope with that by looking mysterious as well, but 2 for 2, it didn't help. I miss having long hair. You could just pretend to be aloof and misunderstood in the corner of a dark room. I'm speeding this up a lot since my attention span is really short, so I assume yours will be as well. It's my first time ever buying an Nendoroid since I'm not really a figure collecting person. I missed the pre-order since I didn't know this existed, but I'm a very big fan of Ouran High School Host Club, so it was pretty much a must for me to get a Tamaki Suo figure. As you can see, it comes with a lot of accessories and alternate arms, as well as this deceivingly simple looking instruction booklet, which didn't really help when I was struggling to take off his head later. Like I said, said, it's my first Nendoroid, so I was really intimidated by all the moving parts and individual wrapping, and all the limbs being removable felt a bit macabre, but all in all, I thought the Tamaki figure was super cute. Though I didn't really feel like the default face captures the soul of the character. It came with 3 different faceplates, including the one and only iconic one that I have in my profile photo, and of course the fancy chair that I wish I had in real life, and also this stand that I'm assuming comes standard with all Nendoroids. It took me a really long time to figure out what the instruction manual meant by taking off his bangs, but I eventually got through it. Without the bangs, he sort of looks like he's balding, which is a feeling I know all too well. I thought it was super surreal, but also very fun to hold the physical version of your profile photo in your palm. It's like I pulled it out from the screen. You can probably put him in cuter poses than these, but he felt really fragile in my hands, so I was too afraid to mess around with it while I was distracted with recording. I should really get around to filming a proper outro one of these days, but that day is not today. We're going to cut straight to the members section now. Thank you to my precious Cod, Annette Moriori, Zeno, Hani, Amy Louisi, Chihyo Kinesis, Lavi Himawari, Angeli, Chat Bagyu, and Sammy. And as always, I'm eternally grateful to my Fruitier Dinero tier members, and even my base tier members that aren't shown here as well for sticking around even times where I can't upload. If you want more of me in between uploads, I also post casual Let's Play videos for all members of strange visual novels I come across. And if you join tier 2 or above, you'll also be featured in my 2024 year-end yearbook commemorating our first year together. Like I always say, benefits like custom emojis, your own George emoji, a special badge next to your username, and early access depending on your tier are always available, so please consider joining. The base tier is always the cheapest price in your region. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.